Rule number 1, we're using the vanilla chunker rule set on the Chunk Picker website. The main difference between this and extreme accounts is that I don't have to get skill capes. Less things are considered a primary training method. It's less extreme. Rule number 2 is that I need to obtain every collection log slot except for pets and jars. Now this is to the best of my ability. There's a couple of chunks that I'll be rolling that have like some insane bosses, like a Cow Fight Queen, for example. He's not the hardest boss, but like right now with my dagger and spiny helm, there's no shot I'd be able to do that, and I'd have to adapt to that circumstance. Rule number 3, farming is just going to be passive. Being locked out of a chunk, just waiting for your wheat to grow, isn't fun. Rule number 4, I'm allowed to use and keep quest items. Now, normally this makes sense, but for most of my quests, it was before I even did my first roll. But I needed to keep stuff like my Drayman Staff and my Wolfbane Dagger. Rule number 5, exceptions will be made for meme grinds. At the end of the day, I'm doing this for my own enjoyment, and if there's a grind that's gonna take years off my life or demotivate me to stop playing, I'm gonna change it. So I know I'm not the best at explaining things, but the whole idea for this account was that I'm a chunk-locked Iron Man with fairy rings. So when my first roll comes around, I'm gonna have like 25 different chunks, and they're all gonna be linked through fairy rings that make like weird grinds and skilling. But the problem is, to get fairy rings, I need to do Fairy Tale Part 2, or I need to start it at least, which has like a good bit of prereqs. So instead of doing them all before or after, I figured it would be best to sprinkle them in through my first grind, which is to get 70 combat. People might think it's cringe, but it's just the best way from keeping this from getting stale.